Extruded and things like that, but once he got it, he like basically like what the hell. And that's you can see with Floyd too. Floyd really was like that too.
Davis and Roach are preparing for their lightweight championship fight on March 1st. But during their media duties, an unexpected guest showed up to cause a stir.
2, 3, good stuff.
Before the fight, the two fighters and their teams gathered for media and promotional work. However, things took a surprising turn when Floyd Mayweather unexpectedly appeared and disrupted the session. On the other hand, Gervonta "Tank" Davis was ready for any confrontation, leading to a physical altercation between the two. Those around them tried to intervene. Both fighters managed to get a few hits in. Mayweather seemed to have the upper hand after pushing Davis, but this marked the first time they faced each other since their clash last April. The tension started when Floyd Mayweather criticized boxers who focus more on luxury than skill. In an interview with Fight Hype, it escalated when Mayweather took a shot at Davis and his camp, particularly by insulting the Baltimore boxer.
And you know, as long as you know you went out there and gave it 100% in that square circle, if you know you gave it 100% and you happy with what you did when you went out there, then that's what it is.
What made matters worse was Mayweather not only taking sides against Tank Davis in his previous fight, but also acting out of character for a boxing legend. His attention seemed fixated on Davis's defeat, and he even went so far as to post on Instagram, claiming the fight cancellation wasn't enough. Mayweather also downplayed Davis's future fight as a simple win and called it a 50-50 matchup, while offering advice to Frank Martin to help him overcome Davis. Floyd Mayweather's feud with Gervonta Davis seemed to cloud his judgment, as he secretly reached out to Davis's opponent, Frank Martin, offering tips on how to beat him. Whether the advice went unnoticed or wasn't effective is unclear, but during the fight, Martin, who had shown promise early on, eventually lost after a brutal knockout from Davis at 149 in the 8th round, marking Davis's 30th career win. Sixth, the issue wasn't just the fight itself, but Mayweather's involvement, which deepened the tension between him and Davis. This turned into one of the most talked about mentor-protege feuds in recent boxing history. Frank Martin later revealed in interviews that Floyd Mayweather had provided him with guidance before the match, seemingly motivated by a desire to settle scores with Davis after Davis has shown disrespect to him.
So what was being around talking to Floyd? Like, what has Floyd taught you about fighting? And has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that shit.
Came as a shock to both boxing fans and insiders when Frank the Ghost Martin admitted to receiving advice from Floyd Mayweather, who was once Tank Davis's mentor and promoter. The two fighters faced off at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas on June 15th, where Davis successfully defended his World Boxing Association title.
Do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what does being around a guy like Floyd do for you?
He could tell you, go run at 2 in the morning. You know, go do it when...
Anticipated. There was plenty of trash talk leading up to the fight. Despite the rivalry, Gervonta "Tank" Davis remained the heavy favorite going into the match. However, in an interview on the Pivot podcast shared on YouTube before the fight, challenger Frank Martin revealed that Floyd "Money" Mayweather had been offering him advice to help him get the upper hand against Davis.
I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion.
Frank Martin confessed that receiving guidance from Mayweather gave him a distinct feeling, and Floyd responded to critics, saying, "I do what I want to do and support whoever I feel like. What's wrong with Frank coming to me for advice? If Tank came, I'd advise him to. What's the issue?" Despite their differences over the years, Mayweather had supported Davis, and the Baltimore boxer had always respected the legendary former world champion. However, the dynamics seemed to change as the fight with Martin approached.
Champion and take things to that next level. And I've always been there for him. And just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be.
Shift was evident, especially after the highly publicized online dispute between Davis and Mayweather the previous month. The tension was palpable. When asked if he learned anything from Mayweather, Frank Martin mentioned, "He might tell you to run it to AM, because 9 times out of 10, That's what champions do. This was just one example of the type of advice Floyd had given him, helping boost Martin's confidence before the fight.
Your opponent sleep at that time. So go run at 2 in the morning and go give yourself a mental edge, you know, like, cause you know you out there working every night at 2 in the morning running.
Martin explained that taking such advice would make you take a lot of heat, but also provide a unique motivation. Even if a boxer can't replicate everything Floyd does, it gives them a new sense of self-belief. This approach reminded Martin of what Mike Tyson used to do before his fights, to gain a mental advantage over his opponents. Tyson's pre-fight rituals, like running at 3 a.m. and chopping wood, were part of what made him the youngest heavyweight champion. However, no amount of advice from Mayweather or Tyson's tactics could stop Davis from executing his plan on fight night. After a year-long hiatus due to legal troubles, Davis returned to dominate Martin, securing an 8th-round victory.
Claims on X that your fight was canceled the last couple of weeks.
He's the one told Frank that I was running at 5.
Gap in Davis's resume didn't affect his performance. He had previously defeated Ryan Garcia in April of the previous year, and followed that up with a similar victory over Frank Martin, leading into the fight. Mayweather even suggested to his fans to watch UFC instead of Davis versus Martin to exchange jabs on social media. Renowned boxing reporter Michael Benson also posted about it.
Friday, he told Frank that. He was giving Frank the tip.
Really? How do you know that? Just word of mouth?
In the rivalry between Mayweather and Tank Davis intensified as Mayweather taunted Davis by claiming the Martin fight had been canceled. Tank Davis responded, "Keep talking, and I'll show up at your house." Davis went on to knock out Martin in dominant fashion. After the fight, Davis confirmed that Mayweather had tried to give Martin advice on how to beat him. He was giving Frank tips, but I knew that wouldn't be enough to beat me. It's cool. I don't think too much of it. I'd rather have beef with him than be cool with him. Davis said,
Drop out while I was running.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they were like spying her, kind of?
No. He got a...
Davis further mentioned, it was Floyd Mayweather who told Frank I was running at 5 o'clock. At one point, Davis expressed his readiness to handle Mayweather in the ring, even mentioning Mayweather's name in conversations with his contemporaries. Speaking with Najee from Cigar Talk, Davis elaborated on his thoughts about a potential fight with Mayweather. "A lot of people don't understand what Floyd does. He was coming at me, and I knew it. That's why I went after him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd," Davis explained, referring to an earlier comment from Mayweather that he felt was directed at him.
Oh, okay.
Closed at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. And they saw that in the country while I was running. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be me.
When Najee pointed out that many fans were expecting Gervonta Tank Davis to reveal a plan for a more active 2025, featuring more fights, increased activity, and major events under his GTD promotions, the announcement quickly crushed those hopes. Fans were surprised when it turned out to be news about Davis's retirement. Now, at the age of 30, Davis is set to face Roach Jr. on March 1st, defending his World Boxing Association title for the second time.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After that second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
Fans had hoped Davis would build on his stunning victory over Frank Martin in June. But instead, he dropped a bombshell by declaring that his boxing career would end in 2025. At just 30, Davis shocked everyone by saying, "After next year, I'm out of the sport." The question many are left asking is why a fighter at the peak of his career with such an avid fan base would want to retire so young. In an honest interview with Fight Hub TV, Davis hinted that the excitement of boxing was fading for him, and that he might no longer find the same thrill in the sport as he once did.
How many times do you want to get in the ring next year if it was your choice? 3 times. 3? So it's 3 fights for sure. Are you retiring?
The perfect 30-0 record, Davis admitted he had grown disillusioned with boxing, even going as far as to call it trash and garbage. Frustrated, he expressed his discontent with the sport, a sentiment that may upset fans who want him to take on more challenges. Despite his disappointment with boxing, Davis found satisfaction in the financial rewards and, more importantly, in knocking out opponents. For him, it's not about the sport anymore. It's about making smart decisions and relishing the power he holds in the ring.
How about a homecoming fight?
No. Gervonta, you lost the love?
The discussion around how Tank Davis will be remembered and how his legacy will be viewed remains heated. When asked if he sees himself as one of the greatest, Davis responded bluntly, saying, "I don't even care about that, bro. I don't care about that. Where I'm from, I'll forever be the greatest. I'll always be ag to myself." It seems Davis values his own self-respect and the recognition from his hometown more than his place in boxing history, though Davis is set to retire after his upcoming fight with Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st. This doesn't mean his final year will be uneventful. Fans can expect his signature explosive boxing style and flashy backflips as he wraps up his career in style.
We're like, talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously
Davis may still have a few more bouts in 2025 before officially retiring from professional boxing? He remains bound by a multi-fight contract with PBC, which allegedly includes a potential showdown with Shocker Stevenson. However, with Davis now planning his exit from the sport, it's unclear how these contractual commitments will play out. The situation is still developing, and it remains to be seen whether Davis will stick to his retirement plans or if these obligations will impact his future in the ring.
Next fights, can we know who they are?
Probably the Ryan Hope.
Davis is set to make his return to the ring at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn this March, where he will defend his World Boxing Association lightweight title against current super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. During the launch press conference, Tank revealed that he plans to retire by the end of 2025, but before stepping away from the sport, he has named 3 fighters he hopes to face. The first matchup will be against Roach in March, and in a conversation with Fight Hub TV, Davis also mentioned Ryan Garcia as one of the other 2 opponents he wants to face before his retirement.
What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one.
Davis and Garcia first fought in April 2023, with Tank knocking Garcia down twice and securing a 7th-round knockout, handing Garcia his first professional loss. Garcia is currently serving a 1-year suspension after testing positive for a banned substance ahead of his fight with Devin Haney, but he will be eligible to return in April 2025. This could set up a potential summer showdown with Davis. Tank also expressed his desire to face Teofimo Lopez before retiring, stating, "Yeah, I do want to fight Teo. I'll slap the hell out of him when I see him."
The Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing.
Lopez, the current WBO super lightweight champion, won the title from Josh Taylor in June 2023 and has successfully defended it twice since. A potential fight between Davis and Lopez has been speculated for years, with many boxing fans eagerly awaiting the matchup. One fighter who has shared the ring with both Davis and Lopez recently shared his thoughts on how the clash would unfold. As for Davis's upcoming fight with Lamont Roach, the champion prepared fans for what's to come. During the press conference, Tank officially announced his March 1st bout with Roach and discussed the event, which concluded just moments earlier. There's been plenty of talk about Tank's choice of opponent, and when Roach got the chance to speak, he shared his thoughts with the public.
Those who
Y'all
might
keep
be
saying his
afraid.
name for.
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what?
I'm excited to be part of this. And come March 1st, it's going to be a great event, Roach said at the press conference. Right now, I'm not too concerned about the hype, but when the time comes, it'll be a great show. Same results, we just have to wait and see. We've got 3 months to prepare, so it's going to be a good one. This is a huge opportunity, and I'm going to conquer it. Roach continued with confidence. Everybody knows what I'm here to do. If you don't, you're in for a surprise. I think Tank took this fight because of all the talk around it. He wants to prove his skills against a dog like me, and I'm going to show you all what happens when the dogs get in the ring together. Obviously, I'll be the one coming out victorious. Then it was Tank Davis's turn to speak, and you could feel the intensity in the room as he prepared to share his side of the story.
Who want to bet? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want to bet? How much you want to bet? Just call it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet.
Both fighters sat down for the Q&A session. The tension in the room was palpable. Tank Davis discussed his past attempts to secure a fight with Vasily Lomachenko. And while Lamont Roach became the next logical opponent, the Lomachenko fight didn't come together. We tried to make that fight happen, but it just didn't work out. Davis explained, Lamont Roach is the next man up. He's got the skills. Even though he's in a smaller weight class, I feel like Lamont has been doing his thing, and he's actually one of the guys I came up with in boxing. A lot of people don't talk about him much now, but he's still putting in work. Most of the guys we started with aren't in the picture anymore, so people might not know him as well. But trust me, he's got skills. He's definitely a top opponent. Davis's respect for Roach was clear, as he acknowledged his opponent's ability despite the weight difference and the years they've spent in the sport together. This wasn't just about the fight for Davis, it was about giving credit where it was due.
He started with, came out with in the sport of boxing. Actually, still doing well. Everybody that's
Roach confidently stated that his style would bring something different than what Tank Davis has encountered before. He emphasized his adaptability, toughness, and ability to fight in various styles. I can fight different styles. I'm gritty, smart, and I'll do whatever it takes to win, Roach said. I've got more than one trick up my sleeve, unlike others. Tank has fought Davis, known for his knockout power and bold personality, has become weary of the sport despite his explosive performances. He admitted he is now more focused on securing his financial future than on legacy. I'm just ready to get through this fight and get it done, he shared at the press conference. Fans had hoped Davis would remain more active after overcoming his legal troubles, but his desire for an early exit from boxing became clear, leaving many wondering if this fight could be one of the last times they see Tank Davis in the ring.
Conference. It looked like you were the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just
26 when asked about his 2025 schedule, Tank Davis made it clear he plans to retire, stating, "After next year, I'm out of it, out of the sport." The shocking announcement didn't sit well with his fans, who had grown used to seeing him fight regularly. Many took to social media to express their disappointment and frustration. For now, the boxing world waits to see how Davis's remaining time in the ring will unfold. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications for the latest boxing news and events. Until next time, peace out.